And the making the imperfect thing will force you to fix it.
Yeah.
The skill you're learning for Instagram helps you on YouTube. Start building the muscle, training the skill that then, just like if you go to the gym for the next 60 days, you're gonna notice results.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So if you're gonna tell me about 18 ways to make money through stocks and bonds, whatever, you still, if you just say, hey, here's a bunch of ways to make money, like what's the message? You can still leave with a powerful opinion.
Right.
Like making money doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
The problem is people just don't have the education.
Right.
But where you started from doesn't have to be where you end up. Did you post today?
I have not posted today. I have not.
How about we post right now?
Let's do it. Let's post right now. We just talked about it, but let's do it.
There it is. Action.
Action. I feel like I've gotten so much help already. So
love it.
I the one thing that I've taken away from you is the act of doing, right? And I'm a big doer. I try to accomplish everything that's in front of me, but just not to overplan, right? And you want to have things be perfect, but just how you're able to take things and just go for it. And I think I listened to your one of your videos on last year's, and he said embrace the suck, right? And like that's so powerful. And so I feel like sometimes we can get so much knowledge that we do nothing, and so I really feel like I've gotten enough to implement already that.
So what are first steps when you go home?
Yeah, I mean, number one, first step is to just practice being good in front of the camera, or practice, not even good in front of the camera, just practice being in front of the camera and getting a message out. The one thing that became really clear is that just even that short 15 seconds, it goes so quickly.
Yeah.
Right? And even if you have great content, we live in a society that consumes, you have to get people interested really fast. And so understanding for me, my message, I chose the name Todd Billions, right? Because, well, number one, my name was taken at Todd Billings.
I didn't know that part of the story, but I like it.
and you and Nina yesterday will set up an Instagram account right now. I'm like, Todd Billings gone, darn it. And so Todd Billions, because it has to do with money. And I also felt like it will attract the target audience, which are the youth that I want to reach. And so my point is that it's a big part of what we do is advertising and appealing to an audience. And so I believe the first step is learning how to be really good in that short little segment, to have the interest, especially of the youth, so that they'll listen to the real content that's behind it. Yeah. So.
Did you post today?
I have not posted today. I have not.
How about we post right now?
Let's do it. Let's post right now.
You did say how you like everything is right now, so
yeah,
we're doing it.
We're doing it right now. One of the greatest things I've learned with my boy Evan is to embrace the suck. And when you don't feel confident or prepared to do what you believe you're called to do, it's important to just do it. And you'll get better. And I hope that whatever you're doing today, that you'll get better and just do it and embrace the suck. And remember Evan and thanks.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, post. The key thing is, though, for you now going to be practicing.
Right.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Putting it into your, of all the people here, you probably got like the biggest business. And I know you got to step out and you're doing work, and I always see it on your phone. And,
it's a little tough.
So, but now if you want this, you got to carve out the time to make it happen.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I think of all the people, you may not have been posting. You're posting one of the least of the people, right?
I am. Yeah.
Like I'm asking Nina to repost. Like, hey, who hasn't done it yet?
Yes.
Okay, you got to get on Todd.
Right.
Okay, Todd.
Exactly.
Todd Billions.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
So, you've also got a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. Right.
Right, not just wealth because it's money. But
of course,
It's a deep well, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just like I'm going to talk surface. You can take people super deep.
Right.
But being able to get that out.
Yeah.
And get better at it. It's
exactly.
Gonna be, like when you go home, how do you keep the habit?
Yes.
That is consistent.
Got it. Yeah. For me, just the accountability for me has always been my calendar, right? So whether it's picking up my kids even, right? You should know to pick up your kids, but it's on my calendar. at 2:30, right?
Yeah.
And I have a 30-minute reminder, so I have an hour window. So because inevitably you get caught in the moment I do at least. I'm very intentional about what I'm doing at the moment, and everything else gets blacked out. And then you're like, oh crap, it's 3 o'clock, and I need to pick up my kids. So for me, that actionable step will be putting it on my calendar.
So where does it fit in?
The best time for me, I would say, is going to be right after I drop the kids off at school. So I drop off my kids at 7:45, go to the bake shop, help my wife, and set up for opening at 8:30. So I'd say by from 9 to 10 a.m. is probably the best window that I have.
Are you at the shop at that point, or you're at
no?
your office?
Then I set up an office at the shop so that I could help her more. But I usually go home, and I'll work from home, and I usually just go to my office when I need to sign paperwork or have a team meeting, because I found that I always hire leaders, and inevitably when I'm in the office, I find that people come to me for things they don't need me for, and then they suck up my time, and they just come for validation. It's like, well, what do you think about this? Well, they would have done it anyway. So I find just being, I work better in my zone unless I'm doing something specifically with people.
So 9 to 10, you're at home, your home office?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the time to create content?
Yeah, absolutely. Or go somewhere. I mean, I could go to a place. I mean, one thing I would like to do that I'd love to have more of a set studio or a set kind of background visual or something, because branding is important to me, and I think it's something where, I think there's times to be at wherever you are, and then there's times where it's like just seeing you when you have the pictures of some, like, I think that it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just something that's consistent, that creates certainty for people and creates certainty for me in terms of a place, like this is where I'm gonna be, and it's not, it's like I don't have to think tomorrow, where am I gonna shoot, right? Sure. And
just not at the expense of creating.
Yes, okay.
Right, like you go home tomorrow, it's 9 o'clock, well, I guess it's Saturday, I don't know if you're gonna do it on Saturday too, but you probably should.
I don't. Saturday's my family day.
Great, but this takes 15 seconds.
Okay.
You can find 15 seconds, right? Put the kids to bed, make a video.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like, how did I build my studio at home? It started off with just a black wall, and this thing said "Believe."
Yes.
And then I added one picture, and then I added another picture, and then I added 3 more pictures.
Yes.
But all the way through, this is where people stumble. It's like, well, I'm not going to film until I get the perfect studio,
right?
And I don't know what reflects my brand,
right?
And then you never do it because you needed to have the perfect reflection of your brand, right? So just you do it, and it's plus.
Right.
You make it every day, and in the making the imperfect thing will force you to fix it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That was probably the biggest thing. I've been working out a lot lately, and but I'm overweight. One of my goals is to drop weight, and being on camera more than anything is like the biggest motivator. They're like, oh crap, man! You see me in like 60 days from now, it'd be
damn,
completely
for
happening? Real. It's the pain of seeing yourself on camera.
Yeah, so
right?
So the same thing. That pain of seeing the messy background behind you will force you to change it.
Yeah, right. Love it.
When I changed my website, I decided I was to change my website. I had 100,000 pages of content. I overnight destroyed the whole thing and threw up one graphic. And I made it just my own graphic that I didn't know what I was doing, because looking at that every day would force me to change it.
Yes, exactly.
I wake up and like, oh my God, my website, look at it, it's brutal. Everything is broken, nothing's working.
Exactly.
Forces the change.
Yes.
Where if I waited for the perfect structure, it would never happen. So 9 o'clock, you're filming.
Right.
Wherever you are.
Right.
And if it's a nasty background, great.
It is what it is.
You're filming there, right? And then, like, you know what? This weekend I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get a painting and hang it in there. I'm gonna, right?
Right.
And even that won't be the final. It'll iterate.
Right, yeah.
It'll iterate.
Right,
You'll figure out your style, your flow, just like everything else.
Right.
So if it's in your calendar, you do it. How do you keep a calendar? Is it on
my phone?
Great. Is it in your calendar?
It's not. We just talked about it, but let's do it.
There it is. Action.
Action.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Todd Billions. Go check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of my questions is, so I created a bunch of topics to that I wanted to share. And one of the things my long-term goal when I envisioned this was more YouTube, right? Because it lives forever and it's content that I think gets very technical at a certain point. So, it's like how do investors make money, macro, micro banking, retirement, savings, stock, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, you name it. So, and then more practical everyday questions, how to pay down credit, how to leverage credit, how my partner spends too much money, does it take money to make money? Like more everyday practical questions. So in terms of like creating, maybe it's premature at this point and just focus on the posting on Instagram, because these things I don't know if I can make little 15-second or little short clips. I'm just trying to think, like, do I hold off on some of these topics in the time being, and that's like extra, like do these other things, and if I can get to some of these deeper topics that maybe are 10-minute type videos. Just wanted your advice on, obviously I'm just getting started, so the goal is to
You start with doing the Instagram daily to start building the muscle, training the scale. That then, just like if you go to the gym for the next 60 days, you're gonna notice results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing. Like if you make a video every day for the next 60 days, you're gonna say, I'm getting better at this.
Absolutely.
Like, it's getting more fire.
Right.
And that doesn't take long. It's gonna take you 15, 30 seconds to make it.
Right.
So to do that daily is easy.
If you I didn't need to block out an hour.
Well, sure, but if you want to now make more content, like now you can use that time to make the YouTube videos.
Okay, got it.
But the skill you're learning for Instagram helps you on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you're going to tell me about 18 ways to make money through stocks and bonds or whatever, if you just say, hey, here's a bunch of ways to make money, like what's the message? You can still leave with a powerful opinion.
Right.
Like making money doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
The problem is people just don't have the education.
Right.
But where you started from doesn't have to be where you end up. I came from the hood to the hills, and now I'm going to teach you the 8 ways to make money.
Right. Love it. Yeah.
Right. And then you can then you tell me. But the skill set you're building with your story should still be the lead. It's still the starting point because that gets me hooked.
Got it.
Because if you just start talking about how to make money with stocks and bonds,
like tune out and fall asleep.
Yeah, the context, right?
Exactly, right.
You're saying anybody can make money, and I know that you came from the hood to the hills.
Yeah.
Todd Billions, the YouTube name now,
Yeah.
locked out for that.
No, now I'm gonna have to change my driver's license. So.
You know the John Legend story?
No.
Super quick. So this is super relevant.
Yeah.
John Legend. This is part of why I made the Kanye West video.
Okay.
John Legend. His name is John Stevens.
Okay.
From Chicago.
Okay.
He's friends with Kanye. Already that seems kind of weird because John Legend seems to be like the nicest human of all time.
Right.
And John Legend, Kanye is Kanye, right?
Yeah.
So they're in a bar in Chicago before John Legend blew up. This is John Stevens, and he says to Kanye, "I've got a really old school voice.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't. This isn't me. My era. Like I'm the Sinatra era. Like it's how I come from." And Kanye says, "You should call yourself the Legend." And John Stevens says, I can't do that. Like, what if I don't make it?
Right.
And Kanye convinced him to change his name to John Legend.
Wow, that's dope.
Right, that's believe, right?
Yeah,
that's why I love that story.
Right.
And I put it in because people think of Kanye as this crazy guy, which he is, but he's also like that. Hey, do you support your friends like that?
Right.
Right? Like you can learn from that.
Yeah.
So Todd Billions.
Yeah, absolutely.
John Legend, John
there we
Stevens,
go.
this is it. He's taking off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so it's definitely this has been more than I expected. I almost didn't come because Nina had reached out to me because I was doing some on Facebook and Instagram. I'm doing my wife's promotions on there, and so she saw me tagging products, and she was trying to tag a product for you. And so she's like, "Can you help me?" I was like, "Sure." So we got on a video call, and then she's like, "Oh, you ready? Where's your handles? I couldn't find your stuff." And my personal stuff, because like, is your wife coming? Is this for the bake shop? Because I sent bake shop stuff, right? Because I want to help my wife too, but and that's actually one of my primary goals. But in the process, I got a little concerned that, man, maybe it's premature for me to be here without any real handle around what I was going to promote. And I mean, I knew in my heart what I wanted to promote, but it wasn't formulated. So
back to your message, embrace the suck.
Exactly.
Nothing's
premature.
premature.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never premature to start.
Yeah, for sure. sure.
But your advantage is you got such a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
You don't need to think about, you may need help in structuring the content, but you know, you don't have to go do the work to figure out.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So
which is great.
Everybody's got something to work on.
Yeah, we do. So no, it's exciting. I'm excited just to see what happens over the next year, right? I mean, next month.
I love it, man.
It'll be great. So.
He's slimming down and he's building up.
Oh yeah. Well, I already have my goal there, so I've been working on it. But this is definitely added fuel to the fire to just embrace it and just go through it.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.